So guys, today I am at Toll Pits in Essex and I am going to be using the bait boat, but I'm not using the Echo Edition on this one because I'm only here for the day. I've been tipped off that there's a bit of weed out there. So what I'm going to do, if you guys haven't got the Echo Edition boat, but you still got one of these or you're looking to buy one of these, I'm going to show you how I fish completely effectively without the use of an Echo sounder. So I'm going to be wrapping up, I'm going to be using the marker float, and then I'm still going to be dropping my rigs and my bait using the bait boat. So let me show you how I'm going to be doing my marker floating. So I've got the RidgeMonkey marker float kit, comes with a stem and comes with a lead that's got like spikes on the back so that when I'm bringing the lead back in, it will drag in whether it be silkweed or Canadian or whatever. That is exactly what I want to know, because if I'm going to be fishing in silkweed, my rig will be totally different than if I'm fishing in Canadian. So that is a really, really good point about the leads on here. And then running down, I've got my braided shock leader and I've also got the RidgeMonkey marker braid. So let's put this out there. Like I say, I've wrapped up to about 25 wraps. This is a deep old lake. I have had a few chucks. So this is a deep old lake. So 25 wraps is probably going to swing back to 24. And then I'm going to drag it in and find out exactly what we've got. And that's a lovely donk. So wherever that's landed out there is probably what's on the bank here, which is like a clay. So it tells me wherever that's landed is perfect. So I'm going to just pull back, and then as soon as I feel any features, because I think on a lake like this, you're going to need to find something. When I feel any features, which hopefully is the weed bed I've been advised to look for, I'm going to pop the marker float back up. Okay, so I want to pop this up now. All you do is open the clutch, give yourself a little bit of play, and I use a spod rod, and that's got 1 foot markers all the way along. So simply grab the line at the bow arm and then pull out a foot at a time, and keep an eye on the line and make sure that it is rising and being taken, and that means that your float is coming up 1 foot at a time. So I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5, and the good thing about that stem on the marker float kits is even though I've jammed into weed, the float is still sitting above it, so it's nice and free to move up and down. So carry on going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let the float catch up. 16, 17. Going to be getting there now. 18. There you go, 18 foot, and the float has just popped up. So I know that on that weed is 18 foot deep. Actually, it's probably about 18.5 foot with the float and the stem. So always add a little 6, 7 inches on top of that. So I'm going to go for 18.5 foot out there, and I'm going to clip this up. And what I'm going to actually do is pull back, I'm going to hit the lead, and then I'm going to clip it up. Now I know that the edge of the weed is at that distance, so I'm going to go back up, I'm going to wrap it up, and say for example I'm at 18 wraps, that's exactly where the weed starts. So I'm going to put my fishing rods at about 19 wraps. With the swing back, it should land exactly where I want it to go. 16, 17, 18, oh look at that, 18 wraps exactly. And that is just on the back of the weed. So I'm going to actually put my rods at about 18.5 wraps. What you've got to remember is because I'm dropping this out of a bait boat, my rig is only going to slightly fall back towards me, just with line pressure. I'm not going to drop this on a tight line. I'm going to drop this on a slack line where I'm just going to let the line tick through my fingers. And that means all the bait is going to land exactly where I want it to land, which is just behind the weed bed. And all of the bait is going to land over the rig perfectly. So rod out 18 wraps, fishing at 18.5 wraps due to the weed. So let's see what happens, eh? Okay, time to put the rods out. So as you can see, I've got a nice simple rig, but what I will do, as always, is I'll put some dissolving foam over the hook point. And the reason I do that, I put 2 pieces on. The reason I do that is not just because when it lands, it pops it up on the bottom. It also means when the bait is flying through the water, the hook doesn't get caught on any of the bits of sweet corn or pellet or boilie, and you know that it's going to land perfectly every time. Top loader boats are very simple to do. Put the rig and the lead in, and then very simply click the back of the hopper bar over. That locks in place. Now everything is nice and secure, and then we give it a couple of scoops of bait, This is just crushed boilie. I don't want to give them too much. I'm only here for the day. And there we are. So that is ready to go out very, very simply. I don't need the marker float out there anymore. This is all wrapped up and clipped up, and I know that I'm fishing to a fire marker, which is actually a house. So I'm going to put one rod to the left of the house, one rod bang in the middle of it, and one rod to the right of the house. So no marker needed anymore, and I can put that out there very, very simply. So when I get to my spot, as I am now, basically push back because I've got the remote on there, stick that in my pocket, then I'm going to unclip my line clip, and I'm going to keep it nice and tight on my fingers, and then I'm going to drop the bait and I'm going to let it tick through my fingers just like so, and then when it lands on the bottom, everything will be in one. So there you go, that's landed on the bottom exactly where I wanted it to go, and that is how you fish effectively without an echo sounder.